Some food issues that we're having here. So my kid eats this pasta stuff that I never knew existed until she started eating it, called Pastina.
Yep.
So it's these tiny little pastas. They're essentially the stars, I guess you would get in like the Campbell's chicken and stars or something like that. A lot of Italian
They're very
people,
small.
A lot of Italian people use it for comfort food. So they use it in their soups. Sometimes they just dump it into like a marinara and they just eat it that way. It's a weird texture. I've tried eating some of it and it's a little too small and slippery for me. So it feels like it should be going the other way. It feels like I was throwing this up as I'm eating it. So I was like, I'm not eating this stuff. But the kid likes it. So cook it in some chicken broth, put a little Parmesan cheese on there. Kid loves it. Well, a few weeks ago, what's the company? Ronzoni puts out an official press release saying that they are no longer going to be carrying Pastina. So it's a big name pasta brand, and that is a very well beloved type of pasta. They put out an official press release saying that unfortunately the company that they had manufacturing it for them is no longer going to be doing so, and they haven't been able to find another suitable manufacturer to make the Pastina, so they are discontinuing the product. Yep. So a lot of people got pissed off, and this is where I was finding out that I guess this thing was so beloved. I had no idea. So, okay, this company, I didn't buy their stuff anyway for this, so this company's discontinuing it. That's fine. There's plenty of other boxed pasta companies out there that I could get this from. Well, then I can't find any of the other brand name stuff with Pastina. I can't even find the generic no frills kind of companies with it. And I go, look, we're on the East Coast. We're near New York City. There's Italian import places. So I'm like,
Yep.
All right, I don't mind if I have to pay more for this stuff. I'll go there, where they're selling the giant metal gas cans full of olive oil, that kind of thing. And they've got
I love those
prosciutto
cans
hanging from the ceiling. It's that kind of a place. They don't have it either. So I was like, what the fuck's going on? And Giddles, you found this article that was explaining what's going on with all of this.
Yeah, because I didn't hear about any of this until Erik was talking about this before the show, and I was just like, like the little stars? I was like, there's no way they don't make that anymore. So I Googled it, and it turns out a week ago they stopped making it. They were just like, yeah, we're not making it. We're discontinuing the Pastina. And so apparently there's not a lot of manufacturers for this Pastina style pasta. And because Ronzoni is not making it anymore, because these people aren't making it anymore, like no one's making it anymore. It's not just like a supply chain situation. Mm-hmm. It's like a manufacturer's thing, like where if they wanted to get it made, they would have to build new machinery to make it. You know what I mean? Like they need to make new dyes and machines and and there's no one is willing to step up and do that. They're like, we're not stepping up to do that for this pasta. So there's like some other companies from like Italy where you can, import it, but it's apparently the size isn't the same. It's a little different. But yeah, it's just a big like chain reaction of one person saying, yeah, we're just not going to make that anymore. And then what happens when that person says it and they're like one of the few people who make it.
Right.
So yeah, is it coming back? I don't know. I don't think this is a Taco Bell Mexican pizza situation where they just like can pretend to ignore it. Like, this is manufacturing. This isn't just, putting ingredients in a different order. So will it come back?
That was the thing at first. No, everyone just thought this company couldn't come to terms with the manufacturer or whatever, so they weren't carrying it anymore. And the next day, when I saw this on NBC Nightly News, the next day I went, you know what? Let me go buy what's left on the shelf there so the kid has it. And there were other people there, too, looking for it. The shelf was empty, and they were looking at the other brands, like I was. Those shelf spaces have this extra tag on there that says on hold. Like there's a little checklist thing, and it tells you why the product isn't on the shelves. And to this day, it's still on hold. So I saw, where's Chris in the chat there? He says, Barilla makes it, but he was trying to send a link to it. Barilla does make it, but I went to different supermarkets, different chains, like all different stores looking, and they all have this on hold. I can't find it on Amazon. I'll go and I'll check that link that you had sent here to see if I can get some of it. But yeah, then I was asking Giddles, I'm like, so are a lot of these companies, you know how like Kraft Foods. You'll have different brands of stuff, and then you realize they're all owned by Kraft, right?
Yeah.
Are all these pasta companies owned by the same company, and that's why the other brands don't have it either, and that's not the case. It just seems to be nobody's making this particular kind of pasta anymore. So it's just
you just can't find it. Like, you're gonna have to find like an importer or like a specialty market that makes like small batch or something like that. But it's so funny because, like I said, I didn't know this was a thing until I Googled it. And then like there's shirts and magnets and stickers you can buy that are like the Pastina shortage of 2023. And I'm like, how did I miss all this?
People are upset.
And I'm like, that's right, because I was angry about 1899. And that's how I missed the pasta shortage.
Healer from Kentucky in the chat saying Ronzoni released a public statement saying "fuck yo kids."
Yeah, so
they're just taking all the pastina that they have in their storage and they're just dumping it out. So it's like, if we can't make it, you can't have it, and they're just dumping it out into the streets. They're gonna
like even Ronzoni says we searched extensively for an alternative solution, but we could not find a viable option to make pastina in the same size and shape that you guys liked. So that means that they
wanted to make them in big
found other
sponge
people
shapes. Yeah,
exactly. Let's see. It says a spokesperson interviewed that the small size and star shape requires specialized production from a third-party manufacturer, which informed us that they would cease producing the pasta. So it's just, like I said, it's just all down the line. It's like, what do you? Yeah, I don't know how to describe this, but it's just, if the people who manufacture it stop doing it, how do you get someone involved in manufacturing who wants to make this obscure pasta that's not really that obscure and is actually very popular? Yeah, I don't know. It's a very, very interesting story. I'm reading about more of it as I go along here.
It's a whole.
But here's the thing. Even the article here just says what's the most interesting part about this is that Ronzoni doesn't make their own pasta. Like, they ship it out to someone else to make their shapes, and they're like, how is that not being, more forefront in this story than that it's discontinued? Yeah,
it's like Tommy Boy, where they're trying to buy their brake pads and just shove what's his name, Al's. Whatever from Chicago, the brake.
Yeah, then your car crashes and your family's burning. Like, oh my god!
I'm melting. Rob Stark saying Eric's favorite pasta dish is chipo e pepe. That is not true.
Who doesn't like chipo e pepe? It's adult macaroni and cheese with lemon.
It is. It's fucking fantastic. But here's the thing: much like when we found out, like, lobsters back in the day was considered, insect and peasant food. Like, rich people, educated, classy people were not eating lobsters. Now it's considered elegant. The cacio e pepe is exactly what you said. It's mac and cheese for adults with black pepper and lemon and stuff thrown in there. But now it's served as an elegant dish in a lot of Italian restaurants.
So, last season of Somebody Feed Phil, they went to Maine and they were talking to a lobster historian, and he said,
"You should just cut that part out." You said he was talking to a lobster. That's a better story. He was
talking to a lobster. Yeah, they were talking to a lobster historian, and he said all that shit's false. He said,
"Oh, really?"
He said that they kept extensive records. He's like, they never fed the prisoners and slaves lobster. He's like, that's insane. He's like, they never did that. And he was like going through record books from like the 1700s. He's just like, this is just a really big myth that's been perpetuated for years. That being said, I don't know. Do I trust the guy? It hasn't been to court yet. I can't confirm nor deny this guy's allegations about the lobster, but he did say, because I was actually talking to my boss about it yesterday. So,
Pastina is still is now become a valuable commodity. So all of you people who are out there collecting rare Funkos and sneakers and all that stuff, Pastina is now
get your Pastina Funko
is the new hotness. So you got to go get that. And Gil said, well, there's a bunch of Italian import places near him. He's going to go around tomorrow and buy all the Pastina he can. And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to put that stuff on eBay and make a big profit." And I said, "Yeah, he's not price gouging people online. He's price gouging his friends and family. It's like, if you ever want to see this again, you better cough up a couple $100 or another $50 on the super chat here if you want a box of Pastina now."
That's what I say about me. I'm like, if you ever want to see me again, you're going to cough up $50 and I'll come visit.
And nobody ever pays.
I'm poor, Eric. Look at my room. They're like, we'll pay you $50 to not come around.
Pivotal Pete, our old friend, saying, "Yeah, it's hard to find different shapes. I haven't seen wagon wheels in a while. I've seen wagon wheels, but in the real heavy Italian areas, they're not there. Like, a lot of it's the tricolor pastas, elbow macaroni,
kneecap elbow.
I've also noticed
macaroni.
They don't sell a lot, or maybe
Fingertip.
they renamed it. Ziti is not Ziti anymore, or they don't sell Ziti.
I see ziti all the time at the store.
I don't see it anywhere. It's always the what's the
Penne?
offshoot of Ziti where it's cut like this? They call it something else.
Are you like the one where it's like slanted?
Yeah.
Penne?
Yeah, they do. You see penne, you see rigatoni, you see a whole bunch of other stuff, but I never see ziti on the shelves ever.
Hey, that's how I won my Broadway award. I rigatoni. Hey.
That just had to. That was so bad. Now he's hiding under the desk. Yes, those pasta monopolies. Yes, big pasta is taking out little pasta from the consumers. You can't get your little
on
pasta
Baltic
anymore.
Avenue, and there was nothing.
Yeah.
Just fucking mustard.
Colavita pasta is made in New Jersey, by the way. Fast ship. They make their own pasta. All right, I will definitely look them up after the program. See if I can order, or if they're not that far a drive, maybe go out there.
Yeah,
see
do
what's
it up.
going on. Jordan saying colonists were caught dumping pasta off the side of boats in Little Italy. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was their Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, it was their pasta tea party. That's why all the fish. They're like, yeah, you sleep with the fishes. They were throwing them in there with the fish. You know what the pastina
Polenta
was
used
good
to be
for?
peasant food. I was not aware of that.
Polenta?
Polenta?
That makes sense. It's just like fucking corn grits. You know what I used to do with the pastina? I would make like a chicken stew, and I would put the pastina in right at the very beginning, and I would cook it like all day,
Right.
which you shouldn't do with pasta because it breaks down into nothing.
Right.
But the pastina breaks down into just, the flour and the starch, and you just get this really thick stew. Oh man, it was so fucking good. It was just like glue, but it was so good. Like on a cold day, you just like scoop out a bowl of this like gruel looking shit, but man, it was so delicious.